Sunny here. I studied French gastronomy in Paris, and now I'm learning all of my favorite Chinese recipes I grew up loving. Classic dishes with foolproof techniques and detailed step-by-step breakdown, simplified home version of your favorite restaurant picks, and easy day-to-day recipes that can be made under 15 minutes. Subscribe, and I'll even show you how we cook Chinese food without measuring. Have you ever come across a Chinese recipe that tells you to add a dash of soy sauce and you wonder what that means? Well, that's what this video is about. I'm going to teach you how to cook without measuring. We will be making one of my favorite noodle dishes from my mom, and it is just so easy and so flavorful. You will need a pork cut of your choice. I like to use pork belly, but you can use loin. And then you'll need some green beans or string beans. Just get rid of the ends. The first step in cooking without measuring is by removing all the numbers, not how much, not how long. Bring about half a pot of water to boil and fan in about a fistful of noodles. As soon as it slips in like this, you are going to break it apart with chopsticks. This is the technique to prevent it from clumping together. Now be ready with a cup of cold water because it will boil over, but at this point it's pretty much ready. And you're going to do the pinch test. Like spaghetti, you want it to be just under. Turn off the heat and heat up a wok on high. We're going to add in some oil and then test with a bit of cold water. If it sizzles, you're ready to add in your pork. Now remember the sound. Turn your heat down to medium-high and your whole kitchen is going to smell amazing. Once we've basted out some of the pork fats, we're going to add in our green beans, toss it around, and then season with salt. The trick is to go light and then taste as you go. When you add your soy sauce, use a spatula like this for a generous splash, and then toss it around a little bit so it doesn't get burned, and then repeat the process with double the amount of sake, just like that. You want to let it evaporate a little bit, and then season with our last ingredient, sugar. About the same amount as salt. Keep tasting. If you under-season it, that's okay. You can just add more. But if you over-season it, then there's not much you can do. Alright, when the green beans start to wilt, you're going to add in your chicken stock. Just enough to cover, like this. I'm using unsalted chicken stock here, so if you're using salted, don't add the salt in the beginning. We want this to come to a boil, so turn it to a high. As soon as it starts bubbling like this, you are going to scoop over the noodles. This is why we want to keep the noodles just under, because it's going to finish cooking in the flavorful sauce and soak up all of that delicious, delicious flavor. Okay, it's gonna look like this, and you are going to move it around a little bit and cover it with a lid and turn it down to a low. My mom calls this noodle steamed noodle for this reason. It's a great time to clean up and to wash your dishes. I'm not going to tell you how many minutes this took. There's one way you can check, and that is simply by opening the lid. If you see that there's still liquid bubbling at the bottom like this, cover it back up and wash the dishes. It's one of those recipes that's super low maintenance and you kind of can't go wrong. Okay, do you see that there's no more liquid left? This is ready. Turn off the heat, find a fancy bowl, plate it, and oh my gosh, you really have to taste this. This is one of my favorite dinners just because it's so easy and I could eat that whole entire bowl myself. If you want more homey recipes like this, give me a like, subscribe, and comment if you have a suggestion.